I would like to call the April 10th, 2024 regular meeting to order. It is 5:30 p.m. There is a quorum present. Notice of this meeting has been posted in a time and manner required by law. Mr. Jones, would you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Cliff Williams. Present. Scott Carson.
Present.
Charles Perry.
Present.
Kyle Hagemeyer.
Present.
Ms. Paulette Traylor.
Present.
Our missing member is Ms. Nikki Lagway. My name is Chad Jones. Thank you.
The board will now hear comments from the audience during the public comment portion of the meeting. The public comment portion of the meeting will be no longer than 30 minutes. Each speaker will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to address the board. Groups of 5 or more who wish to express the same viewpoint on an issue, appoint a representative to speak to the group, will then have 3 minutes to present. Please respect the privacy of others. Refrain from identifying students, employees, and other community members by name. I will determine whether the speaker has attempted to solve matters administratively through resolution channels established by policy. If not, the speaker will be referred to the appropriate policy to seek resolution. Disruption of this meeting will not be tolerated at any time. Per board policy, the board will not respond during public comments. First on our list is Robert Holden.
Thank you. Now, in this presentation, the word "you" means GovEd. And it's most likely too late to save this country. It seems obvious that you are the reason. You're chartered to provide a traditional academic education. How you decided that porn and racism were academic subjects eludes me. Perhaps learning the finer techniques of a BJ and sodomy and transvestism, etc., are academic subjects to some parents who want their children to have additional career choices, but they do not comply with community standards and are a waste of our academic setting. It seems that all local school librarians have been indoctrinated and or brainwashed using groupthink, and you should consider replacing the librarian who willingly complies. You might also look at the staff members who order these books. Remember in September, this last September, Texas Scorecard published a list of pedophiles caught this year who work in GovEd in Texas, and it was more than 60 pages at that time. This last week, a pair of GovEd employees were caught selling kids who had been groomed in GovEd schools. And is that the motivation of your staff members ordering these books? Because they do it. Your review committee needs significant revamping. Now there appears to be only one person on these committees. At least there's only one name and signature block on their reports. And also they are acting in accordance with your instructions. So you are the real reason these books are present. Not the last reviewer, not these groups. You, the first as well as the last, as they are working according to your instructions. You struggle to have students come up to even the very minimum standards of education and fail to even meet those. Remember, Willis is among the 35th worst schools in the world and only 42nd in that group. Some quick suggestions. Replace the current online learning system with one that actually educates. Many are available and at no charge. Allow teachers to teach and then require teachers to master the subject and to teach it. Greatly reduce admin as it seems to interfere with teaching more than assist it. Every year, according to UT, this last month, 80,000 Texas high school graduates learn that they lack sufficient education to even enter the workforce. Evidence is all around us how people lacking of ed is influencing our country's decline. For example, running for federal office on abortion, and it's not one of the 17 enumerated powers, but they're going to run for re-election, and people are going to elect them thinking they can go to a federal office and affect that. Referring to us as a democracy. Politicians are doing that, and you know that historically, democracies have always led to totalitarianism. I can remember in the 7th grade being taught that Aristotle gave a great speech on that. The ignorance you produce is exploited and creating harm to all of us, and take no federal dollars. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holden. The board will now convene into closed session for the purposes of considering matters for which closed sessions are authorized by Title V, Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, Sections .071 through .084. A, discuss teacher resignations and consider approval of teacher appointments, Texas Government Code 551.074. B, discuss, consider professional Chapter 21 teachers and administrative contracts for 2024-2025, Texas Government Code 551.074. C, discuss, consider professional non-Chapter 21 contracts for 2024-2025, Texas Government Code 551.074. D, discuss and consider professional 3-year Chapter 21 term contracts, Texas Government Code 551.074. It is 5:35 p.m. The board will now reconvene into open session. It is 6:54 p.m. Are there any motions from closed session? Mr. Williams.
Make the motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation on the professional personnel listed.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Mr. Carson. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Williams.
I make a motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation on the professional Chapter 21 contracts listed.
I have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Mr. Carson. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Williams.
I make a motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation on the professional non-Chapter 21 contracts listed.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Ms. Traylor. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Williams.
I make a motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation on the 3-year Chapter 21 term contract and its terms for the Assistant Superintendent of Business and Finance.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Ms. Traylor. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. This time, turn it over to Mr. Crowe for our invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Okay, we have a pledge this evening by the Row-Up Singers. They would please come forward.
All right.
Good evening, President Hogemeyer, Superintendent Crowe, Board of Trustees, and Ms. Carroll. So I'm very excited to be here to highlight just a few, this is just a few, very few of my rock stars. And I tell you, they've been anxiously waiting out there. They said, Ms. Lewis, when is the show going to start? Well, the show is getting ready to start. So first we're going to do the pledges, and it's going to be a little social studies lesson first. So boys and girls, you're going to face that way. Everybody face that way. All right. If everyone will please stand for the pledges. Face that way. We're going to look at this way. All right. We have, and which flag is this over here, boys and girls? American flag. And how many stars does our American flag have?
50.
And what do those stars represent?
The 50 states.
Oh my goodness. And how many stripes does our American flag have? 13 stripes that represent the first 13 colonies. Okay, all right, ready? Stand, salute. We're going to do the American flag. It's right over here. All right, let's go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Great job,
Hello, everyone. I would like to present Nalani Washington from Lynn Lucas to lead us in our invocation. Please stand for the prayer.
Bow your heads and close your eyes. I thank you, God, for bringing us all here this evening. Thank you, Lord, for leading us, these amazing people, to the place they are sitting now. Thank you, Lord, for all the leaders, teachers, and staff at Willis ISD and everything they do for us. Bless them, all the students, and their families. Please always protect us and keep us safe. Please lift your people and give us strength. I ask you to give us peace of mind as we go through our difficulties. You made a blind man see, a paralyzed man walk, turned water into wine, brought the dead back to life, and even parted the Red Sea. Let us never forget that. You deserve so much, Lord. We praise you and lift your name as high as we can. We keep our faith in you and give you all our hearts. We love you dearly and thank you tremendously. Thank you for every day, every breath, and every hug. Thank you for the people we love and who love us. You are our first and you are our last, always and forever. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. All right, now we have a special treat for you. Everyone can be seated, and we're going to let our rock stars start our first verse, and then we have a little treat from little Lucas. We're ready.
The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. The prairie sky is wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas. Singing blues like perfume, deep in the heart of Texas. Reminds me of the one I love, deep in the heart of Texas. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. The prairie sky is wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas. Sage and blue is like perfume, deep in the heart of Texas. Reminds me of the one I love, deep in the heart of Texas.
All right. That's the fun part. And as I said before, these are not my only rock stars. I have lots of them, so it's very hard to choose a student of the month. But Miss Bernal, the teacher, is here, but she kind of lost her voice, so I'm going to speak for her. And I can say the same things. As I said, all of our students we are very proud of. But so our theme this year is ROARC Rocks. And the student that I'm going to present to you is the epitome of a rock star student. She comes to school every day to do her very best so that she can be her very best. She is always ready to learn and is a terrific leader of great choices. So I present to you our student of the month, Milana Shirts-Donovan. Did I? Shirts-Donovan. Milana Shirts-Donovan. We were practicing out there. She says, no, Miss Lewis, that's not right. But Milana Shirts-Donovan.
Hi, Milana. Congratulations. We have a certificate for you. And we have a medal for you. Come here, let's take a picture.
Hello, good evening, President Hagmeyer, Superintendent Crow, there you are, Superintendent Crow, Board of Trustees, Sweet Carol. I am delighted tonight to stand here before you today to celebrate the extraordinary achievements of Liam Lewis, our Lynn Lucas Student of the Month. Wow, sorry, Liam. Liam's dedication to both academics and citizenship is truly commendable. Liam's dedication to his academics and his school earned him a well-deserved place in our National Junior Honor Society. His commitment to excellence is evident in every aspect of his academic journey. But Liam's impact extends beyond the classroom. He's a proud representative of our Lucas Lynx in athletics, excelling in track and tennis, clearly, with his skill and his sportsmanship. In Liam, we see the epitome of our great core values. He demonstrates each of our core values by being goal-oriented, resilient, empathetic, with a positive attitude, and the behavior of a true team player. Congratulations, Liam, on this well-deserved recognition. Your achievements inspire us all, and we look forward to witnessing your continued success in the future. I'd like to let y'all know that beautiful speech was written by his wonderful teacher back here, Miss Fink, but she told me I'm not a public speaker, so I'm not doing it. So.
Picking up your slack, I said.
Come over here, sit right here. Have his teacher, have your whole crew come.
Yeah, let's do
Have your whole crew come.
We all gotta be there.
Item 7, standing informational and ad hoc reports and items. A, safety and performance report.
These are usual reports that we give, and they're have a look here with one eye. Okay, consent agenda, right? Okay. Where is Gary? Gary, do you want to say anything about the interlocal agreement with Central Texas Purchasing Alliance? It's just a co-op that we pay how much a year?
Yes, sir. It's cooperative that we're going to the fee is very minimal for districts, $150 a year.
And then the engagement letter of our financial auditor that we've used for several years, is just the engagement letter for them to continue serving us as an auditor.
Mr. Williams.
Make it motion that we present, the consent agenda is presented.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Ms. Traylor. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item 9, discussion and possible action items. A, discuss, consider approval of out-of-state travel request, Willis High School Sweethearts Drill Team.
Mr. Odonsky.
Good evening, Mr. President, Mr. Crow, board members, Ms. Rogers. My purpose here tonight is to ask for your approval for some travel for our high school drill team. They are always searching for ways to kind of extend and enrich their experiences, and one of the ways in doing that is looking outside of the state of Texas at some nationally acclaimed programs for them to participate in. So for next year, they've actually asked to give permission to head to Hawaii for a dance competition. And you might be asking yourself, well, why would we be sending our drill team to Hawaii? And the answer to that question is, number one, that Hawaii is really cool, but also There are three companies that provide the caliber of experience we're looking for our students when they travel out of state. There are three. One of them is in Orlando, which our students have already had the experience of attending. The other one is in Nashville, and the third one moves to different locations, but this next year is in Hawaii. And what it really comes down to is the cost difference between going to Nashville and Hawaii is actually very, very close, only a couple $100 off for the price tag. Of course, this is not anything that is paid for with school district funds, but they felt that the cultural experience would be something that would be valuable to our families and our students to go ahead and make that investment along with the dancing experience. So what we're really asking for is just permission for the students to miss a day and a half of school, which is very much in just kind of parallels with all the out-of-state trips that our programs, whether they be fine arts or other programs, have taken. And then, of course, your permission to represent our school district in a national competition. So the other rule of thumb I go with, if Kaylee Trotter has researched this, she's a very thorough person, and her team has come up with this experience. I'm sure they've found a way to make sure they're saving costs where they can, and this information was communicated to all the parents before this request was made. So you have some information in front of you, and again, my rule of thumb is I feel that this is something that's going to just create memories and a quality experience for our students, doesn't cost our school district, and we would love to have your approval this evening.
You know, I know they send sponsors along with the school district sponsors, and I will be retired.
Okay.
You wouldn't interrupt any of the.
I actually got a little bit of flack. I was like, hey, I'm interested in going, and they're like, well, I have to go on all the trips, not just the ones to Hawaii, then I guess. So, any questions I can answer, folks?
Mr. Carson.
I'll make the motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation and approve the out-of-state travel for the Willis High School Sweethearts dance team.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0.
Great. Thank you so much.
Item B, discuss, consider approval of allotment and TEAC's clarification.
Brad, Mansfield.
Good evening, President Hagemeyer, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Crow, and Carol. So every year we have to certify our TEACs in order to gain access to the what's called IMA funds, and it's what the state gives us to provide monies for our resources. So this is that certification process. You will notice in there that the new science instructional materials are listed in there, which is a little bit different than last year. The other resources are pretty much the same. So we are asking for action on that at the board's pleasure, and I'll take any questions.
Ms. Trader.
I'll make the motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the allotment and TEAC certification 2024 to 2025.
We have a motion by Ms. Traylor, a second by Mr. Jones. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Item C, discuss, consider approval of adding additional personnel.
Thank you, Mr. President, Board, Mr. Crow, Carol. This is that time of year that we're making projections, looking for staffing for next year. We sat down as a leadership team, evaluated all the different requests that came in. We tried to make sure that we kept that, most of those at the campus level, instructional based or support, frontline support for those, other than a couple of district positions and some child nutrition positions that do not come out of the general funding. I think you see we've tried to do that. There are several on there. I've broken those down of how they are funded. If you have questions on any of those, but we are requesting approval for the additional positions listed.
Mr. Carson.
I'll make the motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation to add the positions as discussed in closed session to include those that are designated special education, special programs, child nutrition, Title I, SAFE, Cycle 2 grant, and general funded.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Williams. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item D, discuss and consider reclassification of current positions.
Of course, as we continue to grow, we're looking at positions, how we can utilize them in the best manner, keep them up to date with positions that you've already allowed us to add. There are a few positions that we are just needing to, district level positions that we're needing to get on the correct pay grade level. For some reason, they have been off. That's not costing the district any funds or decreasing any funds from those employees. And then we do have several campus and department level. We have one area where we have supervisors, but they're the same level of some of the employees that they are overseeing. Again, if you have questions that are listed, if you have questions, I will be glad to answer.
Mr. Carson.
I make the motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the reclassification of the positions listed in the tables above.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Williams. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item E, discuss and consider approval of 2024-2025 salary scales and pay rate.
Sure. Good evening, Board. Mr. Crow, sweet Ms. Carroll. I'm here tonight to present the proposed compensation plan for the 2024-2025 school and budget year. Now, we typically adopt the compensation plan in the summer months. However, the board gave a direction and a goal to adopt sooner this year to provide clarity for returning teachers and for new hires. As you are aware, payroll makes up about 84% of the district's budget. So this plan will have a direct impact on the budget that we adopt in August. If we think back to last summer, it was a legislative year with those updates not being finalized until late July. This year, I'm not anticipating any further legislative updates for the time being. I'm looking for the funding formulas to remain steady throughout the remainder of this year. If we take a glance at the district's primary operating fund, prior to the positions that the board just approved, the district has approximately 1,093 full-time positions, with 578 of those being tied to the teacher pay scales. Those numbers do not include grant funded positions, but this just shows you that over half of the district's employees are on those teacher pay scales, which is important as well what we're approving tonight. When analyzing district raises, we're essentially breaking those down into two categories: positions on the teacher pay scales, and then everyone else. So everyone else would be admin, exempt, non-exempt positions on those min-max pay scales. When we look at these two categories, the district is proposing a $1,500 increase to the teacher and counselor scales, and then a 3% to base for all the positions. Also, as a reminder, in addition to this, the board has also approved a retention payment for all returning staff to be paid out in August of 2024. That is $2,500 to all exempt positions and $1,500 to all non-exempt positions. It's a one-time payment in August. If we take a closer look at what this looks like, this is a snapshot of the current pay scales versus the proposed. Try to use that technology here. Yeah, there we go. The first column is the 23-24 of what was currently the teacher pay scale, which is just year 1 through 20. It goes further than that. The starting teacher's salary is $55,000. What the proposed is in this next column. That is proposing the starting teacher's salary to $56,000 and increasing each step $1,500 compared to the 23-24 scale. So, to review a scenario of what it would look like for a returning teacher, if a teacher is currently on step 5, their current salary is $57,320. If you look at if they returned to step 6 for the 24-25 year, they will return at $59,400. So that is a raise amount of $2,080, which is about 3.6% of their current salary. Now for the remaining employees, that would simply be a 3% to base. For example, if an employee has a base salary of $50,000, they would receive 3% or a $1,500 increase to their base salary for the 24-25 school year. If we will look at the estimated cost of this compensation package, based on the current personnel snapshot, the estimated cost for the teacher scale increase is $1.2 million. And 3% for all other staff is about $781,000 for a total estimated cost of just over $2 million to the general fund to implement this compensation package. I will say I'm excited as a district to be able to present this. Last year was a very tough year where we didn't get any raises and held the teacher scale constant. So I'm very excited to be able to present this to you today. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Great job. You and your staff. A lot of people don't realize a lot of our bigger districts, a lot of our neighboring districts are running a deficit budget. And, you just an outstanding job you and your team have done to get this done, the teachers and staff. This and the stipends in August, it's a job well done. And doing that with a balanced budget again. Great job.
Thank you, sir.
I move we accept the superintendent's recommendation and approve the new 2024-2025 salary scales and pay grades.
We have a motion by Mr. Traylor, second by Mr. Carson. Is there any further discussion?
Great job here. I mean, like to piggyback off what Chad said, all our surrounding districts are definitely deficit budget because of, some choices they made, probably with ESSER funds or something like that. So, this is coming out of our general fund. So it's really exciting. I'm glad we're able to do this for our teachers and staff. So good job to y'all.
All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item F, discuss, consider approval of Medicaid billing management and related services agreement.
Yes, sir. The district is looking to enter into a new agreement for Medicaid billing management services. As we previously discussed, there was a major shift in SHAR's funding this year. With that shift, our current provider notified us that their fee structure was changing for our next contract. The fee would be variable, but I'm projecting it to cost about $120,000 over the next cycle. So that being the case, we decided to look elsewhere. And so the district is proposing a new agreement with Frontline Education for these services. We can start with the benefit that I'm most happy about, which is that the cost is less than half of what the other vendor was projected to be. Their fee would be fixed. It would be a fixed cost of $48,160.71 annually. There would be some implementation fees that we'll discuss on the next slide. But for budgetary purposes, it's a great benefit to have a fixed cost versus a variable cost. The other benefit is that we already utilize Frontline for our primary operating system. Currently, we're tracking Medicaid data in 2 separate systems and transferring data back and forth. This will allow teachers and staff to utilize one single system, saving them some time. In discussion with our SPED director, Mrs. Gay, she's very excited about the prospect of this transition. If we dive into the cost breakdown of this new agreement, there is some one-time implementation cost and fee of $17,120. This fee will cover the transferring of all the appropriate data from the current system to the new system, and it also covers the training of all the appropriate staff and teachers who track this data to use the new system. I've requested that our contract align with our budget year. That's what our auditors like to see, which will be from September 1st to August 31st. So the fixed cost for that annual period is $48,160. However, they're also going to they're going to start to provide the services for the month of August. So they include a prorate amount for 1 month on here as well. So that's what that is for $4,090.36. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Williams.
Move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the agreement with Frontline Education for Medicaid billing management and related services.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Mr. Perry. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item G, discuss and consider approval of vehicle purchase over $50,000.
Sure. If y'all remember back in the fall, the district took the steps to add 5 additional security resource officers. I believe this took us to 1 officer per campus. Now for the time being, and since that time, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office has been gracious enough to issue loaner vehicles to those new officers because we've had some issues tracking down some vehicles. However, historically we have purchased the district vehicles for our SROs. So that being the case, the district has sourced 5 2024 police responder F-150s. With the contracted discount, the cost per vehicle is just over $52,000 per vehicle. I will add that upon receipt of these vehicles will need to be tagged and upfitted with some lights and appropriate equipment, etc. to these once we receive them in. The district is also looking to add one 2024 Ford Expedition for $53,785. This would be a general use fleet vehicle, and it would replace a 2013 Chevrolet Suburban. Also, one 2024 Ford Maverick for the district technology department in the amount of $31,190. This would replace a 2000 Ford Ranger, which I will give a lot of credit to our technology department for using for so long. But it's finally broke down. The total cost for all 7 vehicles is $346,750. They will be purchased from Chastain Ford, utilizing the buy board contract for the F-150s and the Expedition. We were able to realize more savings for the Ford Maverick by using a separate cooperative contract through HGAC. Save a little money there. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Carson.
I move that the board accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the purchase of the vehicles listed above from Chastain Ford in the amount of $346,750 from the general fund.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Ms. Traylor. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item H, consider a possible action item to determine the construction delivery method providing the best value for Willis High School auxiliary track and field renovation project.
Good evening, board. Mr. Crowe. Last month, the athletic department has requested that the Willis High School auxiliary track and field require a few changes. We have planned to replace the existing discus netting, which is currently there now. We are looking at to add 1 new discus court and 1 shot put court field to the campus and extend the existing track by 10 meters. For the relocation project, we recommend a job order contracting utilizing the purchasing cooperative as the construction delivery method, providing the best value for the district. The schedule for this project will be June 2nd through August the 1st. The funding for this project will be leftover 2015 bond funds, and the current budget for this project is $158,519.
Yes, sir.
The track. It's the staging area where we're talking about the
Yeah.
110-meter hurdles.
Yeah, in your board book, there is actually photos of what we're doing here. We actually have.
I want everybody in the audience to understand it too, so I want to understand, the track is a quarter-mile track. We're talking about the area, for the staging area for the 110 meter.
This is the starting blocks for the track. Currently, the track cannot practice or hold 110-yard hurdles because you can't put the hurdles in the curves, the turns. So we're extending the starting blocks by 10 meters, which will in turn give them availability to do the 110-yard hurdles.
We'll also tell you this budget's about half what I was told it was going to be. That's a great job on that.
Yeah, in your board book, you can also see the location of the new shot put area and the location of the new discus court. We're going to keep the remaining discus court, replace the netting on it, and then add the new court right below that.
Mr. Jones.
I move that the board approve the superintendent's recommendation to determine the job order contracting utilizing a purchasing cooperative as the construction delivery method provides the best value for the Willis High School auxiliary track and field renovation project.
Second. We have a motion by Mr. Jones, a second by Mr. Carson. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item I, consider possible action item to select an engineering firm for Willis High School auxiliary track and field renovations project.
The Willis School District Planning and Construction Department would like to select Spearpoint Engineering LLC as the design firm for the Willis High School auxiliary track and field renovation project. Spearpoint will provide Willis ISD with complete construction documents for pricing and provide project management to review the submittals and shop drawings throughout the project. SpearPoint will provide the district with a quality control person on site to oversee the installation for each item during construction. SpearPoint will oversee the coordination with the city permitting requirements.
Mr. Jones.
I move that the Board of Trustees select the firm of SpearPoint Engineering LLC as the most highly qualified provider of engineering professional service for the Willis High School Auxiliary Track and Field Renovation Project, and authorize the superintendent to attempt to negotiate a contract pursuant to Texas Government Code 2254-004 and present the contract to the Board of Trustees for consideration and possible action.
We have a motion by Mr. Jones, a second by Mr. Perry. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item J, discuss and possible action item to select and approve a contract with a contractor for the Lynn Lucas Middle School Turf Replacement Project.
At the March 20th board meeting, the board approved utilizing the JOC Cooperative as a delivery method for the Lynn Lucas Turf Replacement Project. On March 21st, we issued the RFP, request for pricing, to 3 contractors, RS3, Symmetry, and Hellas. On April 2nd, we received 3 proposals, and the selection committee, made up of Tom Crow, myself, Robert Whitman, Trent Miller, reviewed the pricing and the construction schedules. All 3 pricings were competitively close, with 2 of the proposals less than $1,000 difference between the both. The committee is recommending Hellas Construction at $585,960 for the Lynn Lucas School turf replacement and to be the best value for the district. The project will be funded from the 2015 leftover bond funds. The schedule will begin June 2nd and the completion will be August the 1st. In the board book, you'll see the contractor has provided the RS means unit pricing backup. They have provided the guaranteed acceptance letter from TIPS, their cooperative.
Does that RS means cost him any more money to provide you?
It does not. The RS means a letter, and then the cost is a service from TIPS. The RS means comes from the general contractor or the contractor, and then the letter comes from the cooperative, that we get the certified letter from the cooperative, and there's no extra cost for that. Also in the book, you will see the bid tab, which shows the numbers between RS3, Symmetry, and Hellas. That's the bid tab, shows their warranty years, the unit pricing for the square foot additional, and their schedule to complete the duration of the project. Also in there, your book, you will be able to see what the look of the field is going to look like with the new big giant logo, the same one we have in the baseball field. We're putting that same logo in the center of it, that really big logo. That'll be part of it. There's a copy of the RFP, the email that the letter went out where we submitted it, and also in the board book, you will see the grading criteria sheets. We graded, so each person on the committee graded the contractors, and in that book, you'll see the grading of how we scored and how we determined who was selected for this project. And the last thing is one thing that we do have to do as a district. If we have a project, we have to have construction documents and design documents. We've been advised that if we have a letter from a design firm showing that there is no design needed for this project, because this project is a like for like, we're replacing it, so there's no design needed. So we do have that letter in here guaranteeing, saying that we do not have to have a design for replacing like for like. We've contacted the city, requested about permitting, since we're not disturbing the soil or the dirt, and we're not doing anything but changing the turf. The city is not requiring any permits for this. So all we're doing is replacing like for like.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I move that the Board of Trustees approve the superintendent's recommendation for Hellas Construction for $585,960 to be selected for the Lynn Lucas Middle School turf replacement project as presented, and authorize the superintendent to attempt to negotiate a contract pursuant to Texas Government Code 2254.004 and present the contract to the Board of Trustees for consideration and possible action.
We have a motion motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Jones. Any further discussion?
Yes, this construction stuff, I'm learning a whole lot about that, so, the transparency you're including in our board books of all the things, RS means, the tips vendors, the drawings, everything, I really appreciate you and the rest of the construction team and our head of construction committee, Shadow, there to go about doing all this and getting this squared away to where we can, it's very thorough, so I appreciate that, and that's a good job, thank you.
Can you share, you're sharing these contracts online, right?
Yes, we are, and if you'll indulge me for 1 minute,
You bet.
if you'll actually go into the website of Willis ISD and you go into the tab over there on the far left that says bonds, you hover over it, pull up the box, you'll actually go into the projects of 2022 bonds. And in that, you will actually select the project that you want to see the contract. So if you select, say you send Lynn Lucas Fine Arts, you'll see the architect, you'll see the contractor. You can click on the architect's contract there. You'll be able to click on so when you click on that, it shows the architect's full contract. We are putting the blueprints, the actual plans of the project will be online, and our contractors we put their contracts online as well. So everyone will be able to see the plans, specifications, the contracts, who the contractor is and who the architect is. So that's how you'll be able to find, the only one that's not on there is one we're getting ready to vote on tonight as far as the Lynn Lucas Fine Arts. And if you actually go into the middle school, so if you click on the middle school number 3, you'll see who the design team is, which is VLK. You'll see their contracts up there. You'll see Duratec as the contractor. You'll be able to click on that, view their contract, view the plans, view the specifications. So we have full access to all the public information. That's how you find them.
That's awesome, good job. Thanks, Tom. Mr. Crowe. Good job, thank you.
You're welcome. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item K, discuss, consider possible action on proposed construction contract with Nash Industries for the 2022 bond project Lynn Lucas Middle School Fine Arts Edition.
The 2022 bond program included a fine arts edition at the Lynn Lucas Middle School. This project was first bid in July of 23, and it came in significantly over budget, and the project was rejected. Excuse me. After fine-tuning the project, it was bid once again February 13th of 24. We received 5 proposals from the project. The bids ranged from $2.8 million to $3.6 million. The proposals were evaluated by the review committee of Ken Lebowski, myself, Robert Whitman, Tom Crowe. The committee is recommending Nash Industries as a contractor for the Lynn Lucas Fine Arts Edition. The contract will be emailed and received, but I believe that we didn't have the contract at the time that I created the book, so I believe that you have the contract now.
Mr. Carson.
Move the board accept the superintendent's recommendation and approve the proposed construction contract with Nash Industries for the 2022 bond project, Lynn Lucas Middle School Fine Arts Edition.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Ms. Traylor. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item L, discuss, consider approval to admin 2023-2024 regular school board meeting schedule.
There's conflict with, some of the board members had conflict with the Wednesday, June 12th board meeting, and so we're suggesting that it be moved to Monday, June 10th.
Perfect. Mr. Carson.
Move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation and amend the 2023-2024 regular school board meeting schedule to change the Wednesday, June 12th, 2024 board meeting to Monday, June 10th, 2024.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Perry. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item M, discuss and consider approval to amend 2024-2025 regular school board meeting schedule.
The county fair came in conflict with the April 9th board meeting, and so we're suggesting it be moved to April 16th, 2025.
Mr. Carson.
Move we accept the superintendent's recommendation and amend the 2024-2025 regular school board meeting schedule to change Wednesday, April the 9th, 2025 board meeting to Wednesday, April 16th, 2025.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Ms. Traylor. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Item 10, board member comments. Yes, sir.
I want to give a shout out to our maintenance department for last night's light failure at the baseball field, and Mr. Boatman sitting in the back, coming sprinting up here and getting that fixed so the seniors got their send off that they deserved. Appreciate the maintenance department taking care of that and getting that taken care of. I know it's going to be a little bit of an ongoing issue, but thank y'all very much for taking care of that.
Shout out to Mr. Crow. This will be the last official, I believe, board meeting where he's gonna be there, in this position by himself. He'll be there again, but you know, without our new lady here. Tom, I couldn't tell you how proud of you I am and the job you've done. You've helped bring this thing back together. And I appreciate you being here for everyone. And I appreciate the work you've put in with everyone, because it has absolutely made a huge difference in this district and this community. And I couldn't tell you thank you enough for a job outstanding, well done.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
Things that I guess have maybe been on my heart or whatever, but I want to say for all those that have been here a long time, I've lived in Willis for 17 years. Last year, it was very difficult for us not to give raises when I know the cost of living was up about 11%. So one of our things that we discussed in January was we sat down with Garrett, we said, hey, we got to figure out how to do it, but we're not going to have a deficit budget. We're not doing that. And so I want to say thank you to Garrett, because he put a lot of hours into it and he figured out how to make it work. And I'm appreciative of that, because we weren't going to adopt a deficit budget. That doesn't make sense to me any way you look at it. But Garrett came in here, he put in the time, he put in the work, and he figured it out, because I want to say thank you, because you're all deserving of it. And I hate we couldn't do anything last year, but we do appreciate you sticking it out. It's put our district in, probably out of any school district in the county, we're in probably the best position of anyone. And so I just want to say thank you to, and not only that, but to the board members that were before me. I've been here 6 or 7 years. Cliff's been here 16. The rest of them are relatively new. You know, this building here was built out of savings. We've done as a district, our district has done a phenomenal job for I would say the past 15 or 20 years of managing the money overall. Always could be better, but I want to say I really appreciate y'all as a staff, because it was a hard decision for us last year not to do anything and not to adopt a deficit budget, but I think it was the right decision. And so I want to give a shout out to Garrett and his team and everyone for sticking with us. I think there's a lot of amazing things coming. I'm super excited. We really had two goals: was to be able to give our staff a raise, and two, to present what our long-term planning committee submitted to us as what they saw as needs through the bond. And so I know that Matt's out here, but I think that our long-term planning committee, those guys, I've been on that committee before, but I think that group took this thing to heart. And so when you see people that were on there, tell them thank you, because they did put in the time. And this is the first bond election that I think the Willis community is not just looking at today, but I think we're looking at the future.
And that's exciting for me. I hope that's exciting for all of y'all, because the growth is coming. I got a call this afternoon that we're fixing to ramp up to 7 houses a week at the little neighborhood behind Love's. So 7 slabs a week times 52 weeks is 364, something like that. My math's not great. But that's one neighborhood. And so it's really exciting time, but I just want to say thank you because, and thank you to all the board members. We had a workshop with Garrett, so we learned more about school finance and what he's been through. But I just want to say thank you, and thank you to your staff, because I think there's a really bright future here, and I think all of us on the board are excited with what's going on. So we appreciate y'all. With that being said, future business meetings, we have Monday, April 22nd at 4 o'clock will be our meeting where we vote to hire a new superintendent. And then our next regularly scheduled board meeting is Wednesday, May the 8th at 5:30. And so, that's it. Anybody got anything else? Mr. Williams.
Make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Ms. Traylor. All those in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Thank you all.